down roads we have no idea. My Ancestor Speaks, the book, the life, death, and spirit of Emmett Till. We are at the first location when I made the introductory video. Had Ancestor Till's picture on that tree right there, but right now it's fishing time. It's raining under all conditions, as promised. Video a day. Let's talk about where we're at with some of the highlights so far from our readings, our daily readings of My Ancestor Speaks, Life, Death, and Spirit of Emmett Till. Book due out end of the year. As I mentioned yesterday, so much enjoyment making the videos. Hey, an audiobook, no problem. So, steady, a lot of roots, walking around like this, but we covered recently the flair of this book. I'm putting this book on a par all alone because of its candidness and willingness to push the envelope on different levels. The spiritual level, the psychic level even. And of course, no pushing the envelope, but maybe an introduction for some. The relationship between earthlings and those who have transitioned onto the next plane. The sensation of relating to ancestors, if it could be bottled, so much would it be worth. But it comes naturally. Heads shaking up and down in agreement is a good picture in my mind. Looking for comments anytime. As we read, those comments will be used to help with the edits, enhance and improve sentence structure, grammar, paragraphs that should be aligned in one spot. I noticed something like that. I also believe that what's happening here with these videos and me contributing doesn't have to be in the vacuum of just me. I open it, futuristically speaking, in the near future, welcoming other fledgling authors and those who want to get over that hump of just thinking about writing their first book and really doing it. Sometimes it just takes a little nudging and, of course, belief in your story. No doubt, no doubt. But this is the end of the Chickamauga River portion where I go a lot. I've shot maybe 200 yards that way. That's where the end is on one section. But this is a very expansive waterway, going not only through Tennessee, but other states as well. I also liken this area of the Chickamauga River to the Tallahatchie, where Ancestor Till was found on August 31st, abducted on the 28th of August, in the wee hours. No knocking for a social visit, but to abduct and disrupt. The rest is history. So my thought today Emmett Till was the circumstance in history that actually helped jumpstart, to say the least, the civil rights movement of the 60s, starting in the 50s. With his death, we know Rosa Parks just months later, sitting on that bus refusing to move, admitted to Emmett Till's mother, Mamie Till Mobley. She thought of Emmett Till, and that gave her the strength and will to stay put, because she, along with many others of that era, refused to have their humanity insulted. The rest is history. I was fortunate to see Rosa Parks in person once at the Million Man March when she spoke. And another time was when I was working on a video project in Los Angeles, and Oprah Winfrey actually invited her to be on stage with her, and there she was, being a part of the filming crew of two. We were up close and personal. And there seemed to have been a third time, maybe somewhere in Hollywood. She was given a role, a job, after a few years after her incident. I don't want to say too much because I'm not extremely clear on the year that she started working, but it seems as though, if memory serves me right, it was related to the LA area. But anyway, 2 out of 3 is not bad. Plus, I have Rosa Parks and many other heroines on tape. I actually have the only audio of the crowds during the course of the Million Man March. So I stayed in one spot for 13 hours. And I have the audio for that sensation of being in one spot for 13 hours during the course of the Million Man March. But back to the book, My Ancestor Speaks, the life, death, and spirit of Emmett Till. 175 pages so far. And many studies of videos on how to write a book, design a book. I went through James Baldwin, as some people say, if you're going to be a writer, you have to go through Shakespeare. Went through him too. But if you're writing about the African of American experience and you plan to be a writer, equally so, going through Baldwin. Going through Baldwin is a must. And there are so many others. I spoke about them during a video. But you can see, I'm out here fishing. There's a little ball in the water. And the fish have been biting the bait, but not the hook. All right, had to film during this period of rain. Every scene that I'm videotaping is different, unique. We'll have a reading on the daily. This particular video, impromptu, without a reading, is kind of an icing on the cake of it all. Noble promise, we are here. Until next.